up, everyone? Jim Platania Jr., Platania Financial. With everything going on, I thought this might be a great time to take a stroll down Chicago's financial district, LaSalle Street and the Board of Trade. Let's go check it out. So to tell the story of LaSalle Street and the Chicago Board of Trade, we really need to start in the 1850s when Chicago was becoming a transportation hub of the Midwest in the United States. With all the railroads coming through Chicago, a lot of travel via water, a lot more people coming out here to Chicago to settle and ultimately take advantage of what we do in the Midwest. And a lot of that is agriculture and livestock. So this gave birth to the Chicago Stockyards that we all have heard so much about, and the Chicago slaughterhouses. So over time, you have a lot of merchants that are dealing with cattle, beef, other sorts of livestock. Obviously agriculture with corn, wheat, different types of grains. And these merchants needed a way to better manage their risk. So they opened up something called the Chicago Board of Trade. So on the Board of Trade, they traded something called futures contracts. Again, a way for buyers and sellers to manage their risk against unforeseen, unpredictable events. So if you're a purchaser of corn and the Midwest has a really serious drought, well, now the price of corn is going to skyrocket. Conversely, if you manage livestock and you have cattle in one particular year, there is a lot of cattle, well, the price of beef is most likely going to decline. So futures contracts were a way that a buyer and seller could agree upon a price in the future so both of them could manage the risk. So taking a quick break here to take a look around LaSalle Street. And one thing you'll notice is that most of these buildings are made out of stone, and they use these Roman style pillars and columns. And remember, these are banks. And back in the olden days, I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot of regulation. So banks from time to time would go under. So if these banks operate by people giving them deposits, how do you build a sense of security, a sense of trust? And by erecting a lot of the architecture on LaSalle Street using this Roman stone and a lot of these pillars to really signify permanence, but that was a way that they helped to instill confidence and kind of give off that sense of security. So the role of the traders at the Board of Trade was to provide liquidity to the marketplace. Now a lot of these traders were trading with their own money, so they had incentive to make money, but they really did provide a vital service to the exchange. So if you have a buyer that wouldn't purchase something for any more than, let's say, $3, and a seller that wouldn't sell for any less than $4, you're not going to have a transaction. And by these traders coming in and speculating on the value of the underlying asset, they're doing a service to the exchange and helping to facilitate transactions. At the very top of the Chicago Board of Trade was a statue. It's actually a statue of Ceres, the Roman goddess of agriculture. The same Ceres that the Ceres Cafe is named after, a very famous bar at the bottom of the building. But the point remains, the Chicago Board of Trade was really founded on this Midwest agriculture that we've all come to know. And over the decades, over the years, we did see the Board of Trade expand to do futures contracts of other commodities, precious metals, currencies, really helping to make Chicago a financial hub of the United States, as well as the entire world. So a very special place, a very historic place. I'm sure a lot of us know people that have come through the Board of Trade or have worked here. I have several family members myself that have worked at the Board of Trade. Very different now. The trading floor is, primarily computerized, so not a lot of actual people these days. But the point remains, a very pivotal part of our Chicago history. If you haven't walked down LaSalle Street and checked out our financial district, I'd encourage you to do so. And that kind of wraps up our tour today. Thanks to all of you for following along. And I wish you well and stay safe and stay healthy. Take care, guys.